Hello and welcome to our podcast, where we explore inspiring stories at the intersection of innovation, international cooperation, and impact. I am Sam Tustat, and today we have a very nice episode. Joining us is His Excellency Dirk Jan Nieuwenhuis, the Ambassador of the Netherlands in Morocco, to discuss the Netherlands flagship entrepreneurship program, Orange Corners. We are also having with us two of the program's alumni, Salma Bougarani and Yunus Wazri, who are leading their innovative startups in Morocco. First of all, I would like to thank Your Excellency for hosting us at your residence, beautifully decorated, combining Moroccan and Dutch decoration. And also, I would love to thank you for your hospitality, and I will start with my first question. Okay, so can you introduce yourself?
Yes, en Sefir Diel Hollanda Filmedru. I'm the Dutch ambassador to Morocco since about a year now. And part of our program is dedicated to helping entrepreneurship, creating trade, creating business lines between Morocco and the Netherlands. And the Orange Corners program is part of that.
Thank you. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Salma Bougarani. I'm CEO and co-founder of Being with Social Enterprise. Basically, we are turning wastewater into tons of food.
Okay, and myself, Younes Wazri, I'm a civil engineer. I'm at the same time the founder and CEO of Ecodon Maroc, which is an enterprise that is specialized in ecological construction of houses and infrastructure for rural tourism using local raw materials, mainly earth.
Oh, thank you so much. So, for our audience, Orange Corners is a 6-month incubation program that provides entrepreneurs and startups with training, mentorship, and coaching, and access to international networks. There's also Orange Corners Innovation Fund, which provides financial access for entrepreneurs and startups. OSIF provides funding through 3 mechanisms: monthly allowance and prototyping subsidy for all participants during the whole period of incubation, and also access to seed fund or capital for 3 to 5 entrepreneurs per each cohort. One of the features of Orange Corner Morocco is that it moves each 6 months to a new region. Like, Mr. Ambassador, I will start from there to ask you a question. Like, why did the Embassy of Netherlands in Morocco decide that this should be the case and not be based on one hub?
Yes, this is a very good question. We do the Orange Corner programs in many countries in the MENA region and in Africa. Our idea, we started with a pilot in Rabat, and then we realized that there's so much more to Morocco than just the big cities, Rabat, Casablanca, Tanger, Marrakech, because there's also a whole world of cities like Beni Mellal, Nador, Agadir, other parts of Morocco that merit our support for the entrepreneurs that are in this region. And there's so much dynamism among young people outside of the big cities. We also had the advantage of having a very good female participation of over 40%, especially in these regions. So these were reasons for us to look a little bit further than Rabat and discover other parts of Morocco that merit our support for startup ecosystems.
Thank you. So I'll go to you as two of the alumni of the program. How your startups or projects could solve problems in Morocco?
If I talk from the perspective of my sector, of my field of expertise, which is construction, we are solving many, let's say, sub-problems within this sector. It is mainly the problem of energy efficiency. When we talk about the construction sector as a whole, it is the second most consuming sector after transportation in terms of energy. And the fact of that we are using local raw materials such as earth enable us to exploit what we call the thermal characteristics of those materials in order to create buildings that fit into their weather conditions and that they have the ability to adjust in a natural manner to weather conditions. In simple terms, there are buildings that they don't consume a lot of energy in terms of heating and cooling. And we are also combining that with some principles inspired from the bioarchitectural designs so that we can at the same time preserve the Moroccan heritage, revive the old patrimony in terms of usage of local raw materials, and at the same time respects all the norms and the regulations that we have here in Morocco. The second aspect is the cost, since the majority of raw materials that we are using are taken on site, mainly earth. We managed to reduce the price of construction up to 40 to 50% compared to regular methods such as concrete or steel or wood. And this gives us the ability to, let's say, democratize the access to infrastructure to everyone. We are mainly operating in rural areas and we work also in urban areas, but the main objective is to duplicate this earthen construction all over Morocco, and for a second step, all over Africa.
Thank you. So it is mainly an eco-friendly project.
Indeed, yeah, indeed it is.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Salma?
Yeah, about Green Watek. Actually, Green Watek is a company specialized in wastewater treatment and reuse in agriculture. And we are here to respond to two big gaps literally in Morocco. So more than 70% in rural and urban areas, lack of basic sanitation service, meaning that wastewater is directly rejected into rivers, causing like environmental pollution, public health, and the second big problem. So today we are living the worst water crisis in Morocco in the last 40 years. So the reuse of treated wastewater is not anymore a choice. It's mandatory. We have to look for other alternatives, and the reuse of treated wastewater is one of the most ecological, eco-friendly alternatives, either in Morocco or Africa or other parts of the world. So basically the idea, we start with the benchmark of existing solution, either in Europe or Africa. And we understood that in our region, in Morocco, in Africa, we need African solution that is adapted for African context. So after my PhD studies, that was my topic during my PhD. I wanted to work on low-tech perspective in wastewater treatment. You know what I mean? In the same time that too many other PhD students work on high-tech, on drones or AI, I was seen as an outsider of my time, like, oh, what? You want to work on wastewater in rural areas? So it's not very fun. We're not
Not so sexy as the other high-tech subject, but very important for this country.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So that was actually our passion. And after I defend my PhD studies in Germany, I started to work with a big company there. And I was just doing the opposite of what I'm doing today, right, in Green Watek. So I decided to come back to Morocco and launch Green Watek and develop, again, a solution that is really, really adapted to the Moroccan context. It is energy-free. So we treat wastewater without energy, and this is very mandatory, very, 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 very important because the rural population cannot afford to pay electricity bills. It is very, very low maintenance compared to the other existing technologies, 70% cheaper than the other technologies in terms of maintenance, 30% cheaper in terms of implementation. So that was the solution that we wanted to implement. And today we are expanding over all Morocco and other also African countries.
Oh, thank you. So I go back to you, Your Excellence. So based on your experience, like the time you spent here in Morocco and your observations, how do you see the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Morocco?
I think if you look at the development of Morocco in this century, it is really, really exemplary. You see a country that has come from afar and is developing in a very rapid way. You see it in infrastructure, you see it in entrepreneurship. My first year in Morocco, I've really been surprised at the quality of the infrastructure, the quality of the ideas that young people are generating, young people that are coming out of university, whether it's here or that they've studied abroad for a few years, what they bring back to Morocco and the ecosystem that is here, companies, government, universities, This dynamism is really, really an eye-opener for me, coming from Europe, having worked also in the United States. And this is something in Morocco of 2025 is a very dynamic country with a lot of potential, young people with ideas. And what they need is to put those ideas into business plans and into working enterprises that create additional value in a sustainable way and that create employment for Morocco's young people. I think these are primordial, and we see a lot of examples of that that are incubated and helped by the Orange Corners program, and then they take off like your businesses and stand alone and really profit from the mentorship, the seed funding, but also out of their own inspiration of making something and creating added value in this country. And I'm really impressed by many of the alumni of the program to see them succeed in their businesses and then being part of the network of the embassy in later years. We even have a former minister among the alumni of the Orange Corners program. So it makes me very proud to see what young people and entrepreneurs are doing in Morocco and the development of this country.
Thank you so much. I'll go from there to, like you said, that Morocco is a powerhouse of like new entrepreneurs, startups, bringing up new innovative ideas that would solve a lot of problems that Morocco, maybe Africa, so that Morocco and Africa would not be lagging behind by creating our own solutions for our own problems. We have two examples here who are like doing real startups, like innovative startups in Morocco. I want to ask you, how has your venture grown since graduation from the program?
So yeah, this is a very nice question, but at the same time, it's very hard. Yeah, since the Orange Corners program, we have reached 7 more regions in Morocco. We started with 1,000 people at that time. Like we impacted, like when we started Orange Corners program, we had like around 1,000 end users. Now we are at 85,000 end users. We have treated more than 500 million liters of water, produced more than 80,000 tons of food, and so on. So behind these numbers, there is commitments, but also there are like we build a community inside the program. We got this strong network also behind this program, and so basically it's really helped us to gain credibility in the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Morocco and abroad.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and talking about creating synergies within the cohorts of Orange Corners, Salma and I had the chance to collaborate after our cohort of Casablanca on a concrete project that consists on building an ecological resort. And Salma and her team did all the sanitation work, equipping it with their solution in order to create a whole, let's say, chain of value that completes our expertise with their expertise and bring up the value of that let's say, that final product or that final package. For me, Orange Corners experience was a switch, because before Orange Corners, in terms of business model, we were targeting creating houses, either let's say primarily houses or secondary houses in rural areas. But through the program, and especially through the monetary price, we managed to add another source of revenue, which is targeting the sector of ecotourism. And if we project this on the current context, Morocco is going to organize the African Nation Cup by the end of this year, and the World Cup by 2030. So the context is keen to receive investments and to develop infrastructure for rural tourism. And for us, through the monetary prize, we were able to position ourselves as provider of the service of ecological construction dedicated to creating this responsible and eco-friendly infrastructure. There's this one aspect of the program. The second one is that we didn't only gain money, but there were also trainings and workshops. And in my case, I was focused too much on the technical side, and I used to neglect a little bit, for instance, HR aspects, or marketing aspects, or financing aspects. And through the trainings that we gained through the program, I managed to have, let's say, a small knowledge so that I can be able to discuss with people in those fields and develop and recruit people that will help me within my team to go with my activity furthermore.
Cool. I think that's also the essence of the program. It's not just funding, it's also a network, it's mentorship, it's expertise, it's contact. And you see that when you go from a startup to a scale-up phase, like these entrepreneurs have done, you run into other challenges in terms of management, in terms of funding. And even though the ecosystem is good, it's still a challenge, I think, for some entrepreneurs in Morocco to overcome, bureaucratic hurdles or permits or, things that can become difficult. And if you have someone in the Orange Corners network that can help other entrepreneurs and say, look, I tried this, maybe you should go there, or I know someone here, I know someone there. So this whole networking aspect of the program, the fact that you have successful entrepreneurs who have gone through the program, helping younger entrepreneurs create their startup into a scale-up, into a viable business, I think that's also an important part. And I'm very impressed with the way that entrepreneurs here are overcoming these challenges, because sometimes it can be difficult to work in.
Well, it's really impressive that you went from 1,000 users to 85,000 users. Like, that's really impressive. And I'm really impressed as well for a vision, like a startup starting and now visualizing programs or policies for Morocco AFCON in 2025, and then the FIFA World Cup to be hosted with Spain and Portugal. That's it's really impressive. I'll go back to you, Your Excellency, and I know that private sector co-finances the program, and the embassy has encouraged involvement, long-term partnership with private sector, with entrepreneurs. Why is that so important?
The program was designed as a public-private partnership because in many, many years of experience in development cooperation, we have learned that you cannot do without the private sector. What they bring to the table in terms of expertise, in terms of funding, in terms of experience and networking, it can never be dealt with by a government agency. My business is diplomacy. Is not water nor sustainable building. And in the private sector, these elements are there. So how to sustain your business, how to fund your business, how to run your business, that's where we need private sector involvement. And we're happy that we've been able to design the program in such a way that this is built in for the Orange Corners program.
Okay, thank you. I'll go back to you and ask you a question about what's your vision? How do you see early startup funding in Morocco? How do you visualize this? Is it positive? Is it helping new startups, entrepreneurs?
Question is me.
Yes, been struggling, I guess. I see it from your question.
I'm known for someone who's looking for opportunities, especially if there is funding behind those opportunities. So that's why I think I'm gonna try to be very brief about this question, and I distinguish between two periods of time: before 2018 and after 2018. I started my project in 2014, and I spent 4 years spending a lot of money in order to develop my first ecodomes or my first ecological buildings. And I don't hide this. I struggled for 2 to 3 years in order to sustain funding that will enable me to develop activities furthermore, to do the sufficient recruitments, to do basic investments in order to provide the service to the clients. And since 2018, I noticed that there was a switch by the arrival of the the World Bank Fund through the CCG, la Caisse Centrale de Garantie, which became later on Welcome. And this was like a first, let's say, breath of air, of fresh air for the entrepreneurs to start acquiring more funds and more finances to develop their activities. Orange Corners, compared to other opportunities, stood by first the amount of money that are given. I think that if you're talking from a grant perspective, it is the highest that we can get in the Moroccan ecosystem. And it also gives you the credibility in order to convince other funds to acquire more and more important amounts. So a brief answer to your question, the ecosystem is developing from funding sources perspective. There are a lot of opportunities. All what you have to do is to have like a clear vision with a well-formulated idea that is scalable, that is bankable or financeable, and you will get the opportunity in order to make it a reality.
Okay, thank you.
It's not easy, but you need to work super hard.
Nada es gratis.
You have to get an idea that's really convincing, I guess.
The opportunities are there. You have to put the effort in order to reach them and to get the maximum out of them.
Yeah.
Just quickly to complete what Younes has said about opportunities. Honestly, in Morocco, in the very early stage, we cannot find too many programs in the early stage startups. And Orange Corners came to fill this gap between like pilot and scaling. It's the value of that, you know. So if we can find a program that fill this gap, that was the most important part of Orange Corners program. It's called like this. Because after you succeed, then it's more easy for you to find other funds, other programs, but not in the very beginning. In the very beginning, very few people believe on you, on your team, on your project, and Orange Corners did. So I think this is the difference between this program and others.
Okay, so Orange Corner was like is like the first push for like bridging the gap from prototype and scaling. I'll go back to you, Your Excellency, and I will ask about like we know that relations are long-standing between Morocco and Netherlands, and there is Orange Corners now funding Moroccan startups and entrepreneurs. What are other kind of collaborations between the two kingdoms in order to finance or help startups?
Yeah, I mean, this one is specifically catered towards startups. We have another program, it's called the Shiraka program, which shares expertise between different actors, mainly government to government, whether it's in the justice sector or whether it's in agriculture or in water management, in energy transition. So there we have a lot of exchanges of expertise between Moroccan experts and Dutch experts. We have other programs in the field of supporting agricultural entrepreneurship, innovation, in horticulture, for instance. We have large Dutch companies active in the Agadir region, in Larache, in other parts of Morocco. And we are working with the Moroccan authorities on energy transition. This is a challenge for everyone worldwide. And we are in the same boat as Morocco. We have to change our own energy mix and also produce renewable energy for distribution. And there we find Morocco has excellent conditions for producing renewable energy, green hydrogen, green molecules, which can then be transported to the port of Rotterdam, a major port in northwestern Europe, and distribute to Germany, Belgium, other countries in the region. So these are other parts that we are working on between Moroccan and Dutch entities, all of them aimed at sustainable development and creating jobs and opportunities in Morocco.
Okay, so I'll go from there. I learned that a lot of partnerships, collaboration between the two countries in terms of entrepreneurs, startups. Have you ever benefited from any programs of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and what impact did they have, if you ever?
Yeah, one of the things that we also get from the Orange Corners program is that we get introduced to the large network of the Netherlands. We have attended many events, national events or international events with the embassy. And from my experience with Eco Maroc, I got introduced to a program called ISBIR. And ISBIR is a program that consists of creating a matchmaking between a company in Morocco or in Africa with a company that is working in Netherlands, depending on the sector of activity. In my case, the construction field. So we have collaborated with a consultancy enterprise based in Netherlands that are specialized in developing materials for the construction field. And we are currently developing jointly a new product for the Moroccan market, and after that for the African market, that consists on creating an earthen brick that has some certain characteristics in terms of mechanics, of thermal usage or thermal performances, and that will be competitive to the already existing products in the market. It goes hand in hand with what His Excellency was talking about in terms of collaboration, because we are following the vision of the kingdom to make this ecological transition in the construction field. If you are introducing or developing a new product that is an ecological brick, you can sell it to real estate developers. You can sell it to companies that are working in the construction field. You can also use it for various sectors, education, building hospitals, and it will enable to reduce the energy bill within those subsectors, and in general the sector of the construction. So that is one of the things that we gain through the Orange Corners program and through the network that we have developed with this program, is that we're able to collaborate with an entity from the Netherlands.
Okay, so about you, Salma?
Besides Orange Corners program, we have collaborated with the Netherlands in indirect way. We have implemented a wastewater treatment and reuse plants in a village called Igui. So we answer to a call of interest opened by another agency, but this project was funded by the Netherlands embassy. And that was one of the most impactful projects so far in the region. It was a plant implemented for a population of 500 people, so it could it treats all the wastewater treatments coming the wastewater coming from the village, and we reuse it to irrigate olives and taro trees in the village. So yeah, we are so proud of this partnership.
So not only Orange Corners, but a lot of other programs that you benefited from, especially that Orange Corners opens like new startups and entrepreneurs to international networks, maybe for other possibilities with other countries, maybe. So I'll go back to you, Mr. Excellency, and like, can you share with any final ideas or thoughts you can share with our listeners?
I think what I've seen about Morocco in this century, in 2025, there's a lot of entrepreneurship. There are ideas that are 300,000 new alumni from education and higher education coming into the market. So what we're doing with Orange Corners is just a small program to help and generate this. But the real force is within the Moroccan society and Moroccan young people, young entrepreneurs. So what we're doing is just serving as an incubator, helping things along. But the real strength is with the people that are doing it. They are creating businesses, they are creating employment, they are generating wealth and creating sustainable development. So I don't want to claim that Orange Corners is helping Morocco. We are just a small contribution that we do from our side because of our excellent relationships, and also because we want to reinforce the business ties between two countries. But the real force of innovation is with young entrepreneurs in Morocco. And I've seen that everywhere in different regions of Morocco. And I'm very proud to be part of that during my tenure here in Morocco.
Thank you so much. I'll go back to the program's alumni.
and I'll ask you, like, do you have any ideas, any personal inspiration that you need to share with aspiring entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think that entrepreneurship is a not easy journey at all. And I think that you need as an entrepreneur to surround yourself with people who challenge you, people who gives you the real tips. It saves time. And also never underestimate the power of pilot projects. It talks louder than thousands of pitches,
Yeah.
And this is what we gain through Orange Corners program. And also as a women entrepreneur, I have to talk about that. I think that as a woman, we do have a different way to do things, but it works. We need just to try it, and we need to believe in women leadership.
Thank you. Yeah.
What can I say after what you said? But I completely agree with Salma when we talk about the hardships that we are facing as an entrepreneur, and I think that the journey isn't easy as it looks from an outsider point of view, and people should put effort. And the quicker way to test an idea is to create a first prototype or an MVP in order to get a real, let's say, realistic feedback from the markets. Because if you are creating a product that doesn't solve any problematic in your context, your product won't serve for anything. And once you put in your core business value solving a problematic that is faced by the local market, be 100% sure that you're going to succeed.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate your excellency for hosting us and sharing with us the insights about Orange Corners Morocco program. And I thank the two alumni for sharing their inspiring stories, the struggles, the hardships, and the moments of joys with our listeners. I really thank you so much. Thank you.
A pleasure. Thank you very much for hosting.
Pleasure.